Hey there, everybody, it's Friday, April 14th, 2017. Welcome back to another Dukes of Dice Daily. In case you didn't notice, we weren't here Wednesday night or Thursday night. Wednesday night, it was just a little too hard at Empire. Last night, I had to play some Destiny online with Rob Rouse from Blue Peg Pink Peg because we're going to be reviewing that in a couple weeks. So I had to do that. I'm sorry, I didn't want to do it, but I had to. But hey, we're back. And a couple things. Speaking of Star Wars, anyone catch the Last Jedi trailer? Just dropped today. That was pretty sweet. So yeah, go check that out after you've watched this. Actually, no, you know what? Don't even watch this. Just stop this. Go watch that because it's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. So just a reminder: March Madness, Board Game March Madness, with a spillover into April Armageddon is still going on. We'll just talk about that briefly in a second. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to take a look at the board game motivation profile. This is something that's been around for, I don't know, maybe a year or more now. And it's a survey you take on SurveyMonkey, and it's going to kind of tell you what your kind of games you're predisposed to like. Let's give this a shot. And I'll put a link to this in the show notes below. And so maybe you can post some pictures to your results if you want to take it. So what's your gender? Male. What's your age? 35. Woo! Past 6 months, how often did you play board games? Let's go with multiple times a week. Which of the following people do you regularly play board games with? Friends? Yup. Family? Yup. Strangers, e.g. people at local meetups, tournaments? Yup. Roughly how many board games do you own? See, I started to fill this out. 300. I don't update my BGG stuff enough. It's probably 300, 400, somewhere in there. What's your preference in terms of the number of players for a board game? I think 3 to 4. Well, I don't know, maybe because no preference is an option. I like solitaire, but I don't necessarily prefer solitaire. I'm going to go with 3 to 4 as my preference. What's your preference in terms of the typical duration of a board game? Less than 30, 30 minutes to an hour, 1 to 2 hours, more than 2 hours, or no preference? I think on average, I would like to play for about 1 to 2 hours. Maybe more than 2 hours. Let's go with more than 2 hours. Have you ever contributed to a board game on Kickstarter or Indiegogo? Yes, more than 10 games. All right, next page. How important, oh boy, this is going to be a bunch of stuff. How important are the following things to you when you play board games? So not important at all to extremely important. I'll go through these quickly, just snap judgments. The game's components use an interesting material or design. Somewhat important. The game's theme or setting is strongly reflected in the art and design of its components. Slightly important. Being able to customize your deck/character/army. Somewhat important. I mean, I don't need it all the time. Dominating other players. I like to win. Somewhat important. Practicing and mastering a game. Well, I'll tell you, with a podcast schedule, that's kind of tough. But I do like to be able to try out different strategies. We'll call that very important. Taking on a believable role in a coherent thematic setting. That's somewhat important. The game board and components are beautifully illustrated. I think it's slightly important. I like my mechanics. The game is based on a well-known movie, book, or book franchise. Not necessarily. Probably not important at all. And the game's outcome is primarily determined by each player's strategic skill rather than chance. Yeah, I'd say very important. All right. Oh my goodness. Okay. I hope this is, all right, let's do this quick. How important are the following game elements when you play a board game? Being known as a highly skilled player. Do I want to be known as a highly skilled player? Yeah, I think so. Yes, somewhat. The game has a great deal of strategic depth and complexity. Extremely important. Trying out new games to stay up to date. Extremely important. Game has family-friendly themes and mechanics. Slightly important. The game world has elaborate history, lore, characters. I'd say somewhat important. I appreciate that. The game has flashy actions that can lead to big changes in the game state. Oh boy, extremely important. Game is very approachable and easy to learn. Slightly important. I like heavy, crunchy games. It's easy to teach someone how to play the game. I'd say somewhat. The game is accessible to people with very little board gaming experience. Slightly. I don't want to play a bunch of gateways all the time. Okay. Oh, boy. Let's keep going, I guess, because I'm committed to this. I didn't realize it was this long. The game has amazing artwork. Slightly important. Game has a solo solitaire mode. Slightly important. Winning. Somewhat. Game allows you to formulate and execute a long-term strategy. Very important. Finding games with new or innovative game mechanics to try. Very important. The game immerses you in another world or place. Yeah, somewhat. Playing the game provides a satisfying tactile experience. Slightly. Simply having a good time in the company of others. I'd say very important. Experimenting and discovering new strategies in a game is very important. Game has well-sculpted miniatures. I mean, I don't need them, but I also kind of need them. I'm going to go somewhat. Okay, how much do you like or dislike the following kinds of board games or game elements? High conflict mechanics that let players attack and interfere with each other's resources and units. Now we're strongly dislike to strongly like. I would say like. I don't like too much of that. The chatting and social interaction around playing board games. I like that. Loud, boisterous party-style games. I'm going to say neutral, because I really have to be in a mood for that. Games that revolve around creative linguistic associations, like Dix and Code games. I like those. Games that require a lot of thinking and planning. I strongly like. Games that involve negotiating or bargaining with other players. I like. Gameplay that involves bluffing or deception. I like. Chance mechanics that determine the options you have, so drawing from a deck. Neutral, I mean, I think you need it to balance certain things out. Games that are slower paced and incremental, I like that. That's fine. Oh, okay. All right, moving on. How much do you like or dislike competing against other players? Like. Gameplay where you have to persuade or convince other players of something. Like. Hostile, confrontational player interactions. Like. Cognitively challenging to play. Like. Primarily about lighthearted fun and laughter. Neutral. Games where all player interactions are non-confrontational. Neutral. I don't necessarily dislike that. Gameplay where players can backstab or betray each other. Like. Chance mechanics that determine the outcome of actions. So rolling dice to resolve combat. I'm fine with that. Games with complex rule systems and mechanics. I'm fine with that. Okay, hopefully these are shorter. Yeah, here we go. 14, how often do the following things? Try out unconventional strategies in the game. Often. I was going to say all the time, but often. Take the time to learn about new game systems and mechanics. Often. Take the time to learn about a game's designer or publisher. Often. Design and create my own games. Sometimes. Not that I ever finish them. How much do you enjoy the following kinds of board games? Games where players have to cooperate. Somewhat. Games with tense, high-stakes moments. A lot. Gameplay that is suspenseful and dramatic. A lot. Games that elicit lots of silly, funny interactions between players. Somewhat. Working together with other players as a team. Somewhat. All right. Okay, we're almost done. How much do you like or dislike the following themes? High fantasy, I would say like. Pirates, neutral, take them or leave them. Historical, medieval, Renaissance, that's kind of neutral. Modern cities, infrastructure, neutral. Agriculture, farming, neutral. Zombie apocalypse, neutral. Futuristic sci-fi, like. Horror, neutral. Steampunk, neutral. World War I, World War II, like. That's interesting. That's a lot of neutrals. Huh. All right, that last one's optional. Not gonna. Here, fine. DVD, HWK, AZ. All right, there we go. Let's see what this says. It is processing. So it's going to give me one of those graphs. Okay. What are some... Help us improve our recommender engine. What are some of your favorite tabletop games? Kemet, Zolkin, and why is that not Kemet? Oh, because it wants me to... Apparently it's linked. Kemet, Terra Mystica, Zolkin, All right, what are some tabletop games that you've enjoyed playing recently? How about Star Wars Destiny? There's only probably a few things in here. Star Wars Destiny. I really enjoyed playing Anansi recently from Level 99 Games. And how about Arkham Horror card game? Arkham Horror, the card game. Okay. All right. Submit and see your profile. All right. Let's see if I can. Let's see. Can we focus in on this here? So, all right. So here is my little chart. It looks like that I enjoy conflict and social manipulation. So you can see that they're kind of part of the same area. Strategy and discovery. My discovery is really high. Immersion, I like. Aesthetics, though, I'm like, wow, that's really low. Because you can see there's the darker line and the smaller line here. Social fun. Apparently, I don't like having fun. I don't like to cooperate that much. So yeah, that's where I stand, I guess. I mean, I'm pretty high on conflict, pretty high on strategy, fairly high on immersion, but apparently I don't want to play party games. So I think that could be mostly accurate. So yeah, I will put the links below and let me know what you think about my scores. If you are a longtime listener to the podcast, you may have some ideas whether or not you think this is accurate for me or not. Let me know if you think this is the case. And then if you want to take this, like I said, I'll have the link below. And if you want to post a picture to what your results were or a link or whatever, that would be cool just to see what people are like out there. All right. Well, that took longer than I thought it was going to take. Hopefully that wasn't too boring. So, and if it was boring, let me know because, hey, I'm not going to learn unless you tell me. So let's talk about Board Game March Madness with a spillover into April Armageddon. Of course, we are in the finals still. We're letting this go out. Do not vote below. I want you to go back and vote on the Tuesday night episode. We are looking at the final matchup between Charterstone from Somar Games versus First Martian from Portal Games for the most anticipated game of 2017. So I will put a link again to the Tuesday show. If you've already voted, can't vote again over there. Don't vote down here. And let me know. We're going to tally this all up. And remember, we are giving away 2 different random prizes. The prizes aren't random, but we're giving them away randomly. One, whichever one of these games wins, Charterstone or First Martians, the Dukes will be sending you a copy of that if you're the random winner. And 2, Tasty Minstrel Games, you can see there on the screen, they will be sending Coliseum to another lucky winner. So make sure you go vote. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and close this midnight my time, Mountain Time, Monday night, or 11:59 p.m. Monday night. There will not be a Dukes of Dice Daily on Monday. I'm actually going to be doing some traveling for a funeral. So won't be here Monday, but Tuesday I will reveal the winner, and then I will also do the drawing to see who wins the prizes. So very excited for that. The other thing real quick, and I'll probably mention this again next time, but what I want to start doing at the end of these is playing a game. And I'm not sure what game that's going to be, so I need some help with that. Basically, I want to play against the viewers out there. So I would take a move, show you what's happened, and then you would vote on what you want to do back, what your move would be, and we'll count up who has the best suggestion, vote, tally it up or whatever. I think that would be interesting. So something short, something that people would know. I don't know. If you have any suggestions, go ahead and put it below of what games you might like to see have the viewers play against me. So hope everyone has a great weekend. Don't forget Monday to listen to the new Dukes of Dice episode where we will be reviewing Anachrony. Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, have a good night, good weekend. Thanks a lot. This is Sean. I'll talk to you later.